Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for my max effort lower day or squat and deadlift day. But a quick reminder for those of you who watch these videos, please remember to click like down below, be greatly appreciated. And as always, the workouts are listed below. Yes, I know that first squat was a little higher than I wanted. I sank the next one. People commented in the previews, wow, you left a lot in the tank on these. It's like, well, yeah, these are supposed to be training maxes. Okay, and I do a double training max. And that came up in the comments. Someone said, do you think someone could alternate squat and deadlifts, or should everyone do the doubles? I'm like, no, it's really dependent. I have a lot of clients on conjugate who we just alternate a squat and a deadlift, right? We alternate. Now, I sink that one deeper. 462, bare knees, buffalo bar. We'll call it RPE 9. I hate that scale, by the way. I could have done 2 reps with it. We'll call it at least 1 rep in reserve. How's that? I could have done a double with that comfortably. So, good training max. As long as we're hitting at least 90%, I'm kind of following the winning style on these. As long as we hit at least 90%, I have 4 months till Worlds. I can titrate up these training maxes. Just keep them heavy enough to be in that range, right? To be in that range, as long as they're above 90% or above. And I think that was 90% or more, right? I don't think I can squat much over 500 right now with that bar. Bringing strength back up, of course. Benching's going better, though. So we did, 462 there. Then I ran 48 pounds of chains and, pulled 515. 48 pounds of chains. It obviously wasn't grindy in any way. Just a good quality training max. And I did less exercise selection today on supplemental work. I did a lot of volume. I did a lot of volume the other day, and I did a lot today, really, between these 3 lifts. But I really want to focus on the reverse hyper, and I don't want to deal with possible hamstring cramps twice a week. So I think I'm just going to mess with the glute ham raises maybe on Fridays on dynamic day. And I really won't, because I'm doing all this other back work. I'm wanting to use this day to work on grip. I'm still feeling my lats. In fact, I feel my mid-traps contract super hard on this here. But I decided, let me do axle bar inverted rows. So work on the grip. Want to make sure my grip is strong for deadlifts. And all this upper back pulling does help my deadlifts. But I feel like right now, the reverse hyper is going to bring a lot to the table. I think between speed pulls, ME pulls, and doing a lot of work on the reverse hyper, and I mean a lot of work, I think my deadlift will be good. But I need to keep building that upper and middle back. I need to keep working the grip in the forearms. So I'm doing ridiculous amounts of pulling for the middle and upper back, because I'm doing chins pretty much every day, at least 1 set of chins. And then between my 4 training days, I'm doing 5 sets of rows of some type, all 4 of them. That's 20 sets of rows. And that's not counting the upright rows and any of that stuff for shoulders, right? Because that hits a lot of the upper back. But I really want to make sure the grip gets worked. And I'm like, well, I get so much other pulling that I can use one that might be more limited by grip, although it didn't really feel limited by grip, did it? I can do just as many reps. Actually, I did 16 on the first one. I was doing 5x15 with the normal bar there. Okay. I felt my back working pretty hard, so my grip is doing good. I feel like all my inverted rows, I can probably get away with the axle bar right now. Right? Let's use the axle bar for one, and I'll do them a couple times a week, and we'll do other chest supported stuff on the others. I'm liking the seal rows, although I like that cambered bar better. So I feel like just keeping the back work up and the grip work will carry over to deadlift, but I feel like the reverse hyper is going to bring the most. And it's not to say these belt squats don't, and the speed pulls, all that's going to help. Doing a little bit of glute ham raises still and staying strong on those, that'll help. But I want to bring the reverse hypers up, mainly because I'm doing a lot of training volume. I'm doing a lot of weighted walking also. I need that traction. So you guys are going to notice everything is traction based. All right, I do chins and hanging leg raises all the time. All my other back work is chest supported. All right, my squat volume other than the speed boxes and the ME work, it's all on the belt squat. Okay, we're seeing a trend here. I'm focusing on traction for the low back. And that means, yeah, I'm going to do 20 real sets of reverse hypers every week. I'm going to build the low back and glutes and posterior chain. It's phenomenal for it. I'm going to go progressive on it. I'm going to get it back to where it was when I was easily pulling over 600. Right? So I'm going to try to add 10 pounds every workout to it. So we'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, I went up 10 pounds on these today. And here's what I'm going to say on the belt squats. I knew I'd been sandbagging them a little bit. Today I wasn't. These sets were hard. I felt like every set had 1 to 2 reps in reserve all the way to the end. On the last set, I felt like if I tried to do 1 more rep, it was going to hurt. So, because I got an extra rep, I think, last time going 10 pounds lighter. So I went up, again, 220 in plates on this. And keep in mind, that arm is 55 pounds, but I'm not really counting it because it's counterbalanced a little bit. It's not counterbalanced, but it's a lever. So I'm only counting plate weight. But when I went up to 220, yeah, it's challenging. Everything got worked hard. So now we're definitely at that point where we're going to see progress from it. Also, keep in mind, I sled drag. I'm trying to do about 5 sled drag sessions a week right now, and I'm skipping them going into the ME days, and then I'll pick them back up tomorrow, hopefully, if weather permits. So that also counts towards, glutes and quads and adductors and everything. But these reverse hypers, right? I want to really, really, really push these hard with a lot of volume, and I want to push progressive overload. I figure if I add 10 pounds every workout and try to get all my sets and then try to get an extra rep or so at the end to see if I've got some left. All right, 10 sets of 10. 10 sets of 10 on both my lower days. All right, that equals 20 pounds a week. Okay, let's see where we're going with this. I want to get this to at least 500 again. 500 for 10 sets of 10. Using this stricter form that I'm using here, the fairly strict. And I got a hell of a low back pump on this today. I felt it, and I felt my glutes too, and I felt the stretch in the hamstrings. And that's okay, even though we're not working all the functions of the hamstring, it's going to add to hamstrings. And if I do a little bit of glute ham raises here and there, I'll still get that other function added in. All right, we'll still get there. We'll get all of it. So that's going to be the plan, but I'm going to use this as a primary posterior chain movement for a while, as far as most of my volume. Obviously, we're still doing other stuff because we're doing an ME squat and pull every week, and then we do speed boxes, and then we'll do speed pulls. And I'm going to start messing some with working sumo in also on the speed pulls. So, we're getting all this other posterior chain a little bit. Glutes are definitely getting hit on all that. Glutes are getting hit on that belt squat too. But I really want to double down here on the erectors and the glutes. I really want to double down on them. And again, I want that traction. I want that traction for the recovery component because it works so well. And there's good data. There's some at least university studies. We're not talking about any of Contreras' stuff. There were independent university studies that compared the biomechanics and everything between the normal 45-degree hyper, which I own one. I just haven't been using it, versus a reverse hyper. And the reverse hyper seems to work the low back more. There does seem to be more erector engagement. And it's also still safer. And that's the other thing. I was going to push good mornings really hard, but then I realized, I think I can get what I want out of this as far as the deadlift. I might need the good mornings for the squatting, but then again, with some of the squatting, I feel like back limits me a lot, but I can get that off all this. I can get that off all the rowing to build the back up. And maybe just keep getting stronger, getting powerful out of the bottom, which can be my glutes and quads and adductors. So we can build all that off the belt squat. And we're pushing the belt squat hard at 5 sets twice a week. That's a lot of work. Okay? And then we got all the speed boxes against bands and rotating bars. And a lot of the bars I'm going to pick, I think, is going to be kind of dictated on weak points. So I'm going to use a safety bar at least 50% of the time. Make sure that upper back, which is really what was limiting me at this last meet. Upper back on the squat, at least in my opinion, but it could have been low back too. So let's get these reverse hypers back up. Going to work them into the ground, and work them into the ground and build that posterior chain in a way that has recovery involved, active recovery, restoration work involved, so that we can recover from all of it. And that's the beauty of what we're doing here. All right, we wouldn't want to do 20 sets of good mornings every week. Do 20 sets of reverse hypers. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.